This is Sandman. Jacquard? Jacquard? Project Cringe Fest. I butchered that name, but the Project Cringe Fest.
Friends, if you are quite active on the internet, then you probably already know that a student protest is going on in Jharkhand.
Why does he sound British now? My AI's gone haywire.
Jharkhand. But if you are not that active on the internet, then for your information, let me tell you that a student protest is going on in Jharkhand. I said this because this Jharkhand protest did not get much footage anywhere. Both the Godi media and the Lodi media did not give any attention to this protest in the beginning. It was the people and the students who started calling everyone out, asking why they were vocal during previous protests but silent here and all that. Only then did the media and influencers realize that something was happening in Jharkhand. Anyway, if you don't know the main cause of the protest in
So again, I'm always honest about how I hated the first half of Jana Gana Mana. That movie was, the first half is just pointless. Skip the first hour and 20 minutes, watch the last hour. The last hour where it's a courtroom drama, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Because it's on this topic about how you only focus and only know about the things that you are told about. Those are the only things that you really focus on. Because that was like, oh, you're focusing on this incident that happened here. It's getting mainstream media. Well, here, there's this person, this person, this person, this person. I remember watching that scene and I was like, that is so perfect. That is encapsulate what everyone in the world sees on their news. They only see what is put in their media. They refuse to, or they don't see anything else. Even if something is happening in the next street over, they are less likely to know something's happening unless, well, they actually hear it, see it, or it pops up on the news. So most of the time, they only see what's on the news. They don't notice what happens in the next street, even though it's closer to home.
Jharkhand, let me tell you that this started when the results of the Jharkhand Combined Civil Services Preliminary Examination were released. And looking at these results, people claimed that there had been some rigging. One person's OMR sheet even went viral on social media. And that OMR sheet clearly showed that this person had left many questions blank. Yet this person had qualified for the exam. And I think this was the trigger point for people thinking we are working hard and taking the paper honestly. But here, undeserving people are either buying seats or qualifying by doing some kind of rigging. After that, it was also revealed that the agency conducting this exam had been blacklisted by the Jharkhand Staff Selection Commission in 2025 because their work was not up to the mark. Seeing this, the students got even more frustrated and everyone started protesting. It has been many days since this protest started, and quite a lot has happened in these days. Since the CID investigated this case, they have also arrested several people, and many people have resigned because of this. But even after all this, the students did not end their protest, and they put forward their demand that there should be a CBI inquiry into this case, and along with that, the exam that was held should be cancelled. Many people there also went on a hunger strike. Among them, the main person is Devendra Nath Mato. He is a student activist, and he had been on a hunger strike since August 2, 2026. Since the government there wasn't listening to these things, the students of Jharkhand decided that let's go to the Legislative Assembly and get our demands fulfilled there. After that, all the students and protesters marched to the Ranchi Legislative Assembly, and there they received the same treatment from the police that the students had received in New Delhi, just like what happened during the Delhi protest. Similarly, here too, many people tried to break the barricades and get inside, giving the police a chance to act like thugs. The police beat the people mercilessly. They used water cannons on them and fired tear gas, which caused a stampede, and innocent students were injured again. There were many people who didn't leave even after getting beaten and stayed right there. So what did the police do? First, they waited for night to fall, and in the darkness, they turned off the lights and tried to drive the people away by beating them. They committed atrocities against women. There was no way to charge. They should be jailed.
That was loud.
These people didn't even have a single female officer. They chased everyone down and beat them. These people are just slaves. After getting the students beaten up, the Jharkhand government thought that they now have to do something for the students. Otherwise, tomorrow we might get beaten up too. So they announced that the 2026 paper, which had all the drama, is being cancelled, and there will be a re-examination now. This news is quite good for the protesting students. But the protest is not over yet because all of the students' demands have not been met. For one, the students absolutely want an inquiry by the CBI. On top of that, they have a 13-point reform that they want to be implemented in state exams. So until all these demands of the students are met, this protest will continue, and those who are on a hunger strike will continue their strike. So friends, these were the updates on this protest.
And now maybe you are wondering why I titled this video Jharkhand Protest Cringe Fest when I haven't talked about anything cringe yet.
Honestly, because a lot of the things that they're wanting just to make sense. You want people held accountable. You want to make sure that the system works for you, not against you. You want to make sure that there isn't favoritism in a system. You like a lot of that stuff is just like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. They're not asking for the world. They're asking for just the bare necessities. Just make sure you give us a chance. Make sure you don't play favorites. It's very simple. Make sure you hold those accountable that play favorites and give more people more of a chance, or give them a test ahead of time. Yeah, it just, all of that just makes sense to me.
And that is true, because when I was looking into this protest, I didn't find much cringe stuff about it online. And there are some valid reasons for this. First of all, no one ever paid any attention to this protest, so nobody even interviewed the people there. Nobody even made videos about this, so no real cringe content came out of it. Another major reason for the lack of cringe content is that the protesting students, having learned from the CJP protests, declared from the start that the protest would only focus on education and nothing else.
Smart.
Are not to support anyone here. This is not Jantar Mantar for slogans of Azadi. Friends, the students will deliver their speeches and statements. I've been working very hard with the students from day one. They're working hard on social media. They're working hard on the ground as well. And I would like to request all students not to support anyone here who shouts Azadi slogans, religious slogans, or engages in political rhetoric. Thank you.
Since the students had already...
Simple. Simple. You just have to stay on point. The second you start, you don't let people in the door that are going to co-opt your movement. You don't. Because the second you do, you've lost everyone. You've lost everyone. It's better to stay on point, have your message speak for itself, and then everyone will just, understand it. Everyone will be like, you know what? These things don't seem too crazy. Just like with the CJP, that went way, way, way overboard. Like it had, what, 100 new different things it was fighting for? Like after a week? So many different things were tacked on. It was like, okay, nobody cares about the students anymore, when that was how it was supposed to start. Here, it's focusing on the students, remaining about the students.
refused to entertain random people. Those people couldn't get into the protest and couldn't ruin its reputation. But don't worry, my friends. I have written Cringe Fest in the title, so I will definitely show you a Cringe Fest, which is obviously not happening at this protest, but is actually happening around it. Now look, this protest is taking place in a state where there is no BJP government. And you must have noticed yourself that if something goes wrong in India, in a state not governed by the BJP, there isn't much outrage on the internet. Many influencers either completely ignore these issues, or if they do talk about them, they significantly tone them down. The student protest in Jharkhand is also a victim of this. From the start, no prominent influencer covered this protest, nor did they encourage people to join, which is why it...
Again, this is so... Again, if you want to watch Jana Gana Mana, skip the first hour 20 minutes. Skip it. Because it's literally about this. The only thing that is worth noticing is that which affects your personal agenda. That's literally like the point of the film. That's literally the point of the film, because so much stuff is going on, but people only notice this because they were told to notice this. Oh my gosh.
Didn't become as trending as the CJP protests. Now, the most interesting thing here was that the audience noticed several influencers whose outrage, concern for people, or patriotism only emerges in selective situations. And the Jharkhand protest is a situation where their patriotism is hidden deep within their hearts and isn't coming out. Now, seeing this dormant patriotism, their own audience thought that if their patriotism isn't waking up on its own, then why don't we knock and wake it up ourselves? And you all know what happened after that. The audience started...
Leftists just want anti-national to be free. Want anti-national to be free, and I can't understand if they try to be nationalists, they can come in power. I think the mindset, because it's kind of the same mindset here in the West, it's the hatred for borders. It's the hatred of... Think of like an insect colony. Like a group of ants. everyone does what the queen says. Everyone follows the word of the queen. And it's like what the far lefts want. They believe the world should operate like a insect hive mind, where it's all done. There are no borders, no nothing. Everyone is just a drone or a Borg falling in line, doing exactly what they're supposed to do. There is no concept of skin tone, no concept of religion, no concept of, which is next to impossible. That's literally impossible. Us as human beings, it's our human condition to want to be more. It's our human condition to we're flawed as a species just inherently. So we could never get to that point. That's why I'm more for patriots, the people who want their nation to be strong, want their nation. Like, I have no problem with patriots. I don't care where they're from in the world. If they believe in like the future of their own nation and they understand that their nation is flawed, but they still want to see it be succeed, I'm all for them. It's the nationalists I more have problems with, because they're like, we are the best of the best of the best. Like American nationalists are just as crazy. So it's like, oh, I prefer patriots over nationalists.
Calling out every creator who was excitedly making videos, reels, and everything during the CJP protest. They were sitting completely silent during the Jharkhand protest. And friends, in my opinion, their audience knocked on them so much that slowly, all these influencers are being forced, even if they don't want to either cover the Jharkhand protest or talk about it. Now, their situation is such that...
You said now it could be almost possible if some Middle Eastern communities just disappear. I wouldn't think so, because you have no matter what, you will always have people in every single subsect that are extreme. You will always have that. You're never getting rid of that. You will never get rid of that.
If they don't talk about this protest, people are already abusing them. And even if they do start talking about it, people are still taunting them.
They are showing it's August 7th. It's 1 p.m. in the afternoon. It came very early.
Oh, there was a lot of pressure applied. So today, even you see today after 14 days.
Many creators are quite sensible, so when they got abused, they immediately covered the Jharkhand protest. But there are many creators whose meltdown has started. These creators are now abusing their own audience, asking, bro, how can you point me out? How did you catch my hypocrisy? And they are conversely calling out the people, asking why they are telling them to make a video about this or spread awareness about this even though these same people were excitedly making videos during the previous protest saying to support that protest, The perfect example of this is obviously Purav Jaha, who I think was making a lot of stories and reels during the CJP protest. But during the Jharkhand protest, he didn't remember the students of this country. When people criticized him, he started abusing the people, saying, bro, why are you after me? I'm not gonna go and change the country all by myself. Politicians keep you people there, that's why you are abusing me, and so on and so forth. Even though during the last protest, he was the one saying that everyone should raise their voice. And now that people are asking him to speak up about this, he's turning around and calling them jokers.
Hey, say something about the Jharkhand protest, Ludo. He's lost his mind a little bit. Huh? I'll change the country? And I had put up a story. Go ask how many others do the same. Just because of you guys in the future, no entertainer or creator, even those who supported the NEET protest, will ever speak up again.
The audience caught on, didn't they? That's why this idiot is having a meltdown. Look, the thing is, he spreads propaganda whenever something happens, and BJP-ruled states it. But even though he comes from Bihar, for example, Jharkhand is right next door, and I don't know how educated this gentleman is. But what did he do for Jharkhand? He posted a tiny story, that too, after getting insulted by 10,000 people. So look, you might say, brother, no influencer will ever raise their voice again. Very good, because we don't even want influencers who participate in selective outrage. We don't need influencers who are politically unaware to raise their voices. Those who know nothing about history, who aren't well read.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's just like there's nothing wrong with an influencer going live and being like, this is why I feel strongly for this. Or going live and being like, I've been told about this, but I am not completely aware. But the thing is, it's like when you put yourself, like for me, it's like I know a bit about India, especially at this point. But again, if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't care. I'm just honest, I wouldn't care. I've said that many times. I honestly wouldn't care. It means nothing to me. The way I view like what's going on in the Middle East, the way like I view what's going on in Russia, the way that I view like what's going on in, yeah, it's just I don't care. It means nothing to me. But India means something to me because, well, my wife's from India, so I wanted to learn more. I decided to find out more. So I learned a lot more because of it. But you can't ask me about what's going on in the Middle East. You can't ask me about like the hatred between like the Palestinian and Jews. You can't ask me about what's going on between Ukraine and Russia, because I don't care to know. I just don't. I mean, it means nothing to me. I mean, it probably, if I looked into it and did research, I'd be able to speak on it, but I don't really have a strong opinion either way because I know nothing either way. I honestly, I just don't. I've never cared to find out. It means it doesn't affect me in my personal life. So why would I, other than me having to pay taxes and me having to now pay a ton for gas? That's how it's affecting me. But so many people don't, are afraid to admit their ignorance. So many people are afraid to admit their ignorance, especially when they spoke on one thing and then refuse to speak on the other. Just admit you know nothing about that other thing. Just admit it. And or you can admit that the reason why I'm not being I'm not backing this is I backed this originally and it didn't turn out the way I wished it. So I'm not gonna back the next thing that comes up. Sure, people will be like, all right, doesn't make sense, but sure. But now he's just like, oh, now no one's gonna speak up. Like, come on.
And make stupid reels and videos, just stick to doing that. You are so good at it. Why are you getting into politics and making your sheep-like audience even more stupid? And do you know the biggest thing about these influencers? They'll portray themselves as being very neutral. They are talking in the national interest. But as soon as their favorite government gets into trouble, they shut their mouths. So from now on, if any influencer tells you they are neutral, just spit on their reel. Just spit on their reel. Because in life, nobody is actually neutral. Everyone has their own biases. Do you think when they go to vote, they cast votes for 4 different parties? They'll go and vote for their favorite. They only want to push propaganda against right-wing governments, against the government of India. But the problem they are facing now is that people have become politically aware. People can smell the hypocrisy. People realize who is trying to fool them. So it's better that these influencers just stay quiet. We don't need their support. We are already making you rich by watching your useless videos. Just be happy with that.
After this, friends, I noticed one more thing here because this is not a BJP.
I wish people would think that way, or I wish I would think that way. It's like, you're all making me rich for watching this useless video. I wish. I wish. If only I could make a ton of money.
State. Hey. So many influencers were trying to make the Jharkhand police look good from the start, saying, look how good the police here are. They are helping the protesters.
Trump said in his interview, Modi and Xi Jinping are the most powerful leaders after him. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the reason he said that is because, again, let's be honest. The people in positions of power, like of the first world, are well aware of India becoming a world power. So they're not gonna, maybe they'll try and do some underhand deals to try and make sure India takes longer to grow, but there's no stopping its momentum. There is no stopping its momentum. And I think that's really one of the issues that's led so many people to get so angry about India's growth, is because it's when someone starts doing something that betters the nation, I think it's primarily not, it's not that they hate their nation, it's that their team didn't make the change. Their team isn't the one in power changing it. Because look, as long as BJP has been in power, India's seen most of its growth. Astronomically, most of its growth during BJP's time. Because it went away from like socialist ideals, still has socialism because again, socialism exists where capitalism is, but went more capitalist. And it was able to focus on building, focus on the infrastructure. Does India need a lot of work? Absolutely. But so does everywhere else in the world. But that's the thing. It's just like, I think so many people are unhappy that the things that are happening, it's not their team doing it. Because it's become a sport to people. Politics has become a sport. They want their team to win. They want to see their state win the cricket championship or whatever it is. So it's let's be honest, my audience is like 80% India. You all watch cricket. I've never seen a game in my life. Oh, I need to see at least one game. I've been to a stadium, but that's about it.
One guy was even making a video saying, look, all the police officers here are wearing name tags, how good are the police here? But later, the poor guy got betrayed, and the police came to beat him up without any name tags. There was someone else too. I saw it, but I don't remember his name. But in his video, he was saying that the police did beat the students, but they didn't beat them as badly as the Delhi police did. As if this is something to be happy about. Man, why was there a need to beat them at all, brother? For one, I don't understand the government, or why do they always wait for something like riots or violence to happen before they take any action? Why don't they try to take action from day one? They did have some conversations with the students earlier, didn't they? And maybe disagreements were growing on many issues. But how did you let the distance grow so much with your own people that they had to come to the Vidhan Sabha, huh? No. And when they must have seen in the previous protest what happens when crowds come to these places to protest. Still, they didn't learn anything from that and let all these things happen. I mean, do you want all these things to happen in your country and your people to struggle? Because from your actions, it seems like this is exactly what you want. After that, let alone the state government, even the central government, is not taking any action on these things. I mean, they have acted as if Jharkhand is not even a part of India. It's India. Whatever is happening there, our central government doesn't care about it at all. They're just waiting for things to sort themselves out so they don't have to do any work. Or perhaps they also want things to get worse so that they can raise this as an issue in the next election and form their government. Anyway, since we are talking about protests, how can we not talk about the master of protests, Abhijit Dipke? Some people from Jharkhand are calling for this brother. Some are telling him not to come here at all. But Abhijit is probably sick right now, so he cannot go there. And in my opinion, those participating in the Jharkhand protest shouldn't expect much from CJP. Because look, the Janta Mantar protest was one they started themselves. They had their own motives behind it, so they were serious about that. You people started this protest and you have your own motives to fix things your way. So most likely they won't take your protest that seriously. That's why I recommend that you keep doing what you are doing. And as your protest gains more fame, others will come running for the spotlight. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video until the end. Before I go, I want to say that the students of Jharkhand have my full support. I hope your problems are solved soon and our country improves further.
It sounds rational.
I will see you in the next video with another topic.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their demands just sound rational. It sounds like they just want fair treatment. And that is not crazy. That is absolutely not crazy. It's it's insane how we've gotten to a point where the kids are protesting and it's just like, yeah, that sounds about right, when the CJP was just all just a show. It was all just a show. Democracy is not good. And any ideology and government is not good. Nationalist dictatorship can be good if they just want to serve people. That's the thing. It's just like everything should just be in the mindset of serving its people. It just should be. Like the people should be the ones in control of the growth and change of their nation. It should be up to the people. I mean, that's why voting exists in the first place. The problem is that the more and more the world changes, the more and more people realize that did their votes really mean anything? As the world gets smaller and smaller and smaller, they feel as if, you know what, from what we see and then what the end result is, it doesn't seem like what we actually wanted is what actually happened. But that's the thing. It's just like, like for me, I don't think the state of California has ever had the legal representation for like the voters in at least 2 to 3 decades. It's primarily been like fraudulent because there's like what three cities, primarily 3, maybe 4, but then of course they're the big cities. But everywhere else in the state of California votes a different way, and still, no matter what, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Okay, everyone take it easy.
Jharkhand, I butchered that again. Government is dictatorship, and they call BJP dictatorship, or dictator. It is mini country inside democratic India as dictator state. Of course, that's why nobody's there to back it, because it's literally what they want. It's literally what they want.
You guys made a video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait like that.